Hey everybody, welcome to another battle report on Lightem'up. I've got a game here for Cygnar and Cygnar. This will be my 30th Mark III battle report, and I am proud to say we are still going strong. This list is going to be, my opponent is bringing Captain Sloan, the Stormwall build. He decided not to go with a bunch of hunters, and he's got Stormwall, one hunter, a defender, and then a Sentinel, and then he's got a junior run the Firefly with Captain Strangeways to keep the Stormwall up and running, and Eiryss 2 to disrupt a bunch of people, and then Anastasia di Bray up there with her espionage and ambushing tactics. Obviously a really strong build. Whether or not you want to go with the Stormwall for Sloan or the Hunters or Defenders build, it's kind of optional. I think, along with my opponent, I believe the Stormwall build is probably the correct way, because Stormwall has the ability to kill whatever comes into him in melee, along with whatever you can shoot down. But it's either or, it's up to the eye of the beholder, I guess. So, on to my list. I am playing Cygnar for the first time in about 4 months or so, give or take. I've got Major Markus Siege Brisbane going here with Squire, Hammersmith, and a Centurion in his battle group. I've got an Arcane Tempest Rifleman with Strangeways, a Gun Mage Captain Adept, a Junior Warcaster with a Defender, and then Taryn de la Rovissi. Black 13th, the Rangers, and a unit of Trenchers minimum with one Rifle Grenadier, just because I had some extra points to throw around and didn't know what to do with them. So this list here, I idealized it as a siege melee feat list with a little bit of ranged in there to work around things like jamming units, and if I can't get a ranged alpha, feat alpha. So the idea here is that I have the Black 13th can get up to POW 10, 11, and 12, and 2 12s on Siege's feet, which is pretty sick, especially doing brutal damage. The Rangers obviously can help out everyone's accuracy and actually are not too bad at shooting themselves. Trencher Infantry to protect everybody, and then can get some charges in with their brutal charge POW 11s. Even under Siege's feet, that's pretty good. Gun Mage Captain Adept to bring down defenses, obviously, and remove stealth if necessary. And then the main muscle of the group being Siege himself, the Hammersmith, and the Centurion. Getting in there and getting some melee action done. So the idea here is that I can potentially hold the feat until I can engage with my heavy hitters in my battle group. And then once it is time, I can pop my feet, hit something with my POW 14 if I need to do it with my hammer or with my gunshot, and then send my Hammersmith and my Centurion into the opponent's heavies and get a lot of work done that way. With the Defender softening up or taking out a different hard target than my melee troops go into. So that is the idea behind the list. We will see how it is going to function. And unfortunately we're playing Extraction again today. That just seems to be what I roll a lot. On this table, though, you will see a large amount of water, and then some trail that was actually not being used as terrain other than the rubble. I actually set this table up and then played a list that had almost no access to Pathfinder, other than the my little troopers up there, the Rangers. I don't really have a lot of Pathfinder in this list, so kind of screwed myself over on that, but hey, that's what happens. Sometimes you don't play on a table that is to your liking, sometimes you do. I did decide to change my list up. If I do play Siege again, I will have to get some sort of Pathfinder access in there. Not a lot of options in Cygnar for Pathfinder for Jax, but we'll have to see what happens, what I can change it up to. So my opponent's first turn, pretty standard. He just ran up his Sloan list. Put Sloan behind that large obstruction there, and then Stormwall is coming over right up the center of the board. We were playing the hedgegrove up there that was going to be a linear obstacle that provides concealment, not cover. So if you go into, if you're standing behind it, you get the +2 for concealment bonus instead of +4 for cover bonus. People don't play with that very often, and I decided I wanted to. So on my turn, I move up, put the Black 13th and a Defender inside a foxhole, and then have Siege hide behind his objective. He's using, I believe he's using the bunker objective. Or no, the armory objective, yes, for magical weapons. Move up, and because Sloan's battle group can see through clouds, I decide that it's not worth it to cloud up with my trenchers, and decide to just dig them all in. On my opponent's turn, He's measuring out and decides to have Anastasia come on my side, and he can get, or she can get into Arlen. When I moved Arlen up, I forgot about Anastasia, and then you'll see Taryn there is the base with the white arc on it on my side of the board. So when I moved Taryn up, I remembered that Anastasia could come over on that side and decided to face her that direction so that she could aim and shoot if Arlen actually survives this attack. Alright, so my opponent here is deciding, going through his turn, what he wants to get done here. Obviously measuring out kill box so he doesn't kill box himself and give me control points. Moves Kara, still staying behind cover, the obstruction, and then decides to pop her feet this turn, which is an interesting choice. So she is not going to get her 3 shots with her shot, Reinholdt shot, and the reload shot. She's only going to get her battle group's shot on this feat. But with those shots, she is actually going to be quite devastating. The Stormwall is going now, and he's taking a couple big shots into, I believe it is my Hammersmith, and is able to knock out the movement on my Hammersmith. So my Hammersmith will not be able to charge, and then goes ahead and puts down covering fire, so that my trenchers are going to have an issue getting there. Little Sentinel comes over with his chain gun, spins it up, and is able to kill 2 of my trenchers off, which is, you know, unlikely with defense 17, but that happens. Got the Hunter going now. Hunter's taking shots into my Defender, who is in cover in that foxhole and does a bunch of damage to the Defender, taking out his hammer actually, and then doing some more spillover damage into column 1. His Defender, I believe this is his Defender going now, so his Defender moves up. I'm sorry, he is measuring where he needs to go. Decides just to sit there and aim and pump 2 shots into my Defender, taking out, not taking out another system, but doing a significant amount of damage. And then the Firefly moves on up, and the Firefly is going to shoot the Defender and do a bunch of damage actually, taking out his gun arm and his movement. So the only thing the Defender has left now is Cortex. But thankfully he was standing close enough to the objective that the E-leaps from the Firefly went into the objective instead of going into the Black 13th, which was good for me. Unfortunately for me, fortunately for me, Anastasia charged into Arlen and only did 5 boxes of damage to him. Unfortunately for me, Eiryss was able to disrupt my Centurion, and since I could have Arlen go over and empower my Centurion to remove the disruption and give him a point of focus, but that would only give him 1 point of focus, and I want my Hammersmith to be able to make it into combat, so Arlen has to go up and repair my Hammersmith. Unfortunately on my turn, during my control phase, I forgot to allocate focus to the Hammersmith. I only gave him 1 focus and his power focus instead of loading him up. I messed up, and I was expecting Arlen to empower the Hammersmith after he repaired him, thinking he could do both for some reason, or just forgetting that he had to do both. So instead of being a fully loaded Hammersmith going in on a Stormwall to do significant damage, he is going to be a 2 focus Hammersmith. He'll have to spend 1 to get there, and that's not going to go so well. So right now, the Black 13th, under my feet, were able to take out the Hunter on the top, and Siege was able to do, I think it was Siege shot the Hunter, and then the Black 13th, all 3 of them shot the Hunter, and were able to do significant damage, taking out that Hunter at the top of the board. Siege did pop his feet this turn, decided to go ahead and send the Hammersmith in, and you'll see that he took out all but 3 boxes on the on the right side of that Stormwall, which doesn't mean an awful lot because he still does have his Strangeways back there, and I'm not going to be able to get anything onto the Strangeways. Oh, I apologize. I don't know what it was that took out the Hunter, because apparently the Black 13th are going right now. It must have been the Gun Mage Captain Adept, and potentially the Defender, I believe? Yes, the Defender, because he was not blocking line of sight because of the foxhole. And then the Black 13th went up, and they did either significant damage or killed the Firefly, I believe, or either the Firefly or the Defender. Either way, they walked up and they were able to control, or they are going to be in position to control. No, they are in position. They controlled one control point from that flag and go ahead and make me 1 CP to nothing. And my opponent's going to have to contest or kill off some stuff. Fortunately, he can kill off some stuff pretty easily for him. So Sloan just goes and gets her 2 shots, one from Reinholdt and one from her normal shots. Actually misses one of the Black 13th, which is good for me. Takes out, kills one of them, and then refuges back behind that cover. The Sentinel goes up with his focus from the Junior and shoots out a couple of my guys, and then Eiryss goes and lays another disruptor bolt into my Centurion, which is just really annoying. So Eiryss 1 is kind of universally seen as the better option nowadays, but Eiryss 2 against Jax is still really, really good. I mean, she can lock down a Jack like she is doing right now. This is the second turn in a row she's locked down that Centurion, and keep him from doing much work at all next turn. He did have Arlen fix up the Stormwall. I believe he rolled all 6 boxes, and then Stormwall went up and just decimated that Hammersmith. So the Defender goes and kills off another member of the Black 13th, so they will not be able to control the flag this turn. I'll have to get something else over there. It is still 1-0, and we are on to my turn 3. I decided to let Foxhole drop, although I, in retrospect, probably should have kept it up. My Arcane Tempest Rifleman goes and shoots at Eiryss and ends up missing, needing, I think he needs like 8s or 9s to hit her, so not easy to hit, even though he was on the correct side of the wall, so she didn't get the wall bonus. But my Gun Mage Captain Adept will move up and shoot a brutal damage shot into the Defender. My Defender will move up and boost, because he still has his Cortex left. Boost for 2 dice to hit and boost for 2 dice damage on his Defender. And do a few more points of damage. And then I moved the Rangers into position, and Siege moved up into position, and I started trying to take out the objective. And left it on, I believe, 3 boxes. 3 or 4 boxes. Other than that, I go ahead with the trenchers at the bottom, and I charge into his Sentinel and 1 into Eiryss, hoping to take out Eiryss just on a lucky hit, but I did not. I was able to take out the Sentinel, which is nice. And then move the Rangers into position to hopefully keep Siege safe, realizing that he's actually in charge range of the Stormwall. This is not a very good position for me. I am at 2 control points, but I'm running out of stuff that can do anything. My hope was that he would not be able to charge Stormwall into Siege and do enough damage to make me lose, to kill me. What I did not take into effect was the fact that he can shoot me first. So right now we've got the Black 13th dying to Sloan, the Captain Adept dying to Sloan, and then Junior dies to Sloan, which removes the Arcane Shield from Siege, who had received it the last turn. And then the Stormwall just goes ahead and he does not charge me, which makes me believe that I might actually have a chance this turn. At least a chance to live. Instead, he goes ahead and pods to free up Eiryss. Spins up his guns and takes out a few more of my infantry. Kills Taryn de la Rovissi, and then kills a ranger there. And then I believe he took his big gun shots into Siege himself. Yes, here we go right now. Took a couple points of damage on the Siege, and did a few points of damage into my Centurion, who was then disrupted again a 3rd time. So 3 turns in a row, Eiryss disrupts my Centurion. And I am quickly running out of stuff. He moved his defender, was unable to move the defender into position to contest that flag at the top, which is good for me, but moved him and took a shot at Siege, I believe missing. So right now we're at 2-0, and my goal this turn is to destroy the objective. You see right there, I believe this was the turn I left it on 1 hit point. So my goal is to destroy the objective and somehow control his flag, or at least one of the flags, and then live. But, I mean, working it through, I'm not really sure how I'm going to be able to do that. The gun mage at the bottom, the rifleman, was able to kill off Eiryss finally. The Arcane Tempest rifleman, I should say. And this is me going about thinking, how am I going to survive? So I'm able to force hammer his defender into his objective, doing significant damage, or a little bit of damage to the defender, and taking out the objective finally. So I will go to 3 control points at that, but I don't have anything that can control the top flag, which means all he has to do is take out my defender, who is inert and only has like 2 or 3 boxes left, and then he has an open fire line into Siege. This is where having the foxhole cover would have been extremely helpful, because it would have been much more difficult for Sloan and the Stormwall to shoot me down, but that is what happens. Right now we got his defender going, takes a few shots into me, I spend some focus to reduce it, leaves me with 9 hit points, it looks like, 8 or 9 hit points. Then the Stormwall just turns towards me and hits both of his big guns into me, and this is going to be a Cygnar victory. Sloan on the assassination. But, so it was good to play Cygnar again for the first time. I love Siege, that's why I wanted to get him on the board first. I'm going to try to get some Kane games in. Had some games requested for Kane, so I will get a Kane 2, I believe, game in here soon. I might proxy a Kane 3 game, because Kane 3 is pretty awesome. And then I just got a beautifully painted mammoth delivered to me last week. I actually had it commissioned out, so in a few weeks I want to be back to Scorn, because I believe I'll be bringing Scorn to Adepticon, and I need to get some games in with a mammoth. So it'll be interesting. But I love playing Cygnar. Cygnar's in a great spot. They just won SmogCon, the UK Nationals, with, I believe, it was a Haley 2 Striker 2, or it was a Haley 2 Striker 1 finals, with a bunch of Stormlances. So hopefully nothing happens to the Stormlances. I don't personally own any, but I don't think there's a need to nerf them. They might be need to buff other stuff so that Cygnar doesn't just automatically bring Stormlances when it has to bring heavy-hitting infantry. But yeah, we'll see. For those of you who were waiting for an LVO recap, I apologize. I recorded an episode, and then something happened with my computer and the entire file got corrupted, and I'm sorry, I just did not feel like recording the episode over again. If you guys really want it, tell me in the comments, and I will attempt to do it again, and we'll see how it turns out, because, you know, always do what my people want. On another note, I am over 500 subscribers. Oh my god, thank you guys, it is amazing. I can't believe I got 500 subscribers. I know to some YouTubers that's like nothing, but to me it's like amazing. 500 individual people care what I say. Really? Do you really care? At least you watch my videos. Parts of them. So, thank you guys for your viewership. And then, hopefully I will see you guys next week. I'm trying to get another video in on with the Cygnar caster I just said. If you have any list suggestions or casters you'd like to see played, hit me up on my Facebook page. You can get the link in the doobly-doo below or at the end of the video, and I will see you all next week. Have a good day.